gradual, subtle way, but in harmful effects. You won't surely die.
Yes, you're gonna.
Yeah, you won't die, right? And with basically the seeing of an Adam, there was a gradual fall of man, right? And that's why it says, what's that? Second, oh, Adam was now done,
Yep, yep.
right?
Yeah.
Because the sin of Adam basically back forward centuries later, you know what I'm saying? You and the damn people can look at crazy as hell.
Underneath, at the bottom of the side.
Yep, at the bottom. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
30 years old and shit, half your life is over.
yeah.
Shit, the average so-called black man, Latino Native American, we don't laugh. We only live to 65 years old. And nowadays people are dying at 55 and later. There's an uptick in, you know what I'm saying, people dying. And that's because that is a testament to the society in which we live in.
No, Jackson. It was tested.
You know, a society that uplifts basic techniques and leads to death.
Yeah. It's tied to disobedience. It's disobedience, sin is tied to death, especially for these people. All right. But I want to read verse 5 and 3, just to bite down on the point that this devil has always been in the spirit of promising you a great value version of what the Lord is going to give us off the rip.
Genesis 3 and 5. For the Most High doth know that in the day you eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil.
Should be as God's knowing good and evil. Then you're gonna be elevated, you're gonna be upgraded to a God. That's what you're trying to sell to evil. But in a way to where it was pleasing to the flesh. The way you get to Godhood through the Most High, the real Godhood is going to be shedding this flesh, shedding the desires and abstaining from it. So it's not a pleasant way to get to Godhood, but it's the real potent power that you receive on the right hand side. On the left hand side, there's gonna be some rinky dink shit.
Right.
You know, you go to in Texas, they got a spot called Big T where you get all the bootleg shit.
Yeah.
All right. If you getting the bootleg version, and it ain't gonna do you no good. You see, now I want to go to Ephesians 1 and 18 because those the elect these people, they're gonna understand the fullness of what the Lord has promised us, what it really means to be aligned with Yahweh Shah. The immortality that comes with righteousness that comes with, okay? Our people, they don't get it, man. Majority of our people, they don't get, like it says in Hosea 4 and 6, I believe. Our people shall perish for lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
That's it, right? Yeah.
Hosea. Yeah. You gotta go? I'm all right.
So Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 6 says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou having rejected knowledge, I also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. And thou hast forgot the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children.
So two-thirds of these people, right? They're not going to be a part of the priesthood in the kingdom of heaven. Meaning they're not going to be a part of the governing body. They're going to be in the kingdom. They're going to be immortal, but they're not going to have the particular privileges or status that the elected nation is going to have.
Well, like I said, it's not going to be more. There's cases like Revelation today. So you're going to have old people, you know what I'm saying, in the kingdom, but they're not going to receive that mortality like the elect.
And the folks, they don't get, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's like
Yeah, you good. I needed that one. See, I think we did what different time. Can't remember. Brother did a lesson on it. That was a topic that came up not too long ago, wasn't it? Yeah, we get that Ephesians 1 and 18 in the NLT.
Ephesians chapter 1 and verse 18 in the NLT. I pray that your hearts will be flooded with light so that you can understand the confident hope he has given to those who call his holy people who are his rich and glorious inheritance. I also pray that you will understand the incredible greatness of God's power for us who believe in. This is the same mighty power that raised Mashiach from the dead and seated him in the place of honor at the Most High's right hand in the heavenly realm.
Right. So what comes along with truly following the Lord at the highest level? That immortality, the overcoming of death. Oh, death, where is thy sting, as the scriptures say. So the elect of these people, they understand that concept. They know what they're fighting for. There's a lot of people with fringes on, they don't really know what they're part of or what they're fighting for, which is why they do the things that they do. You want to say something?
I'm disagreeing with you on me.
Yeah, yeah. So you get guys like Genesis guys. You get guys like even Captain Cesaria. They'll start to bend the doctrine because they don't really know what they're fighting for. This is about something else for them. It's about vain glory. The guy in the clip, seen the elder not to talk about put up today, he was trying to say, well, we already buying and selling. We already are doing this thing. We already, we already have a mark of A beast. He said A beast to leave himself out for when he's wrong. And he can say, I didn't say the mark of the beast. I said A beast.
Well, it's confusing the image of the beast
Yeah, they say
with the mark of the beast. A part of the image of the beast is capitalism.
yes.
Somebody can look up, you know what I'm saying, for the brother, you know, is capitalism a part of Western culture or Western identity? You know what I'm saying? Which is that word given with making oh legitimate, goddamn it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Legitimity. Look that up, Baba Kashai.
Yeah.
Because a part of this man's economic system is a part of the image of the beast.
Yeah.
Which the image of the beast is basically Western culture or Western hegemony. That word hegemony means a cultural dominance, you know what I'm saying, of a society.
Yeah.
So these other nations lie in bed with the team, you know what I'm saying, and take on its economic, you know what I'm saying, basically ways in order to further themselves.
That's right.
And they're able to buy and sell, you know what I'm saying, conduct business or commerce, you know what I'm saying, because basically of them taking on the image of the beast. Okay, but the image of the beast, this is what we have to, you know what I'm saying, realize.
So like you got the image of the beast, right? The philosophies and ways they push, which is almost parallel to exactly what the Romans were doing. You have the beast itself, which is the countries in the itself. Okay, then you got the mark, which is the last stage of this beast, that digital all of servitude to this beast, which you can't repent from. I want to add that real quick. In Revelation 14:9, once you take that mark, you can't repent from taking that mark. So that shit that Captain Cesario was saying does not make sense.
Right.
You gotta know.
What's that? It's a Google definition for the word hegemony. It says leadership of dominance, especially by one other country or social group over others. Right. It says, this the AI overview says hegemony means the dominance of one group, state, or idea over others, achieved not through just force, but often by shaping norms, culture, and ideology, so the dominant views seem natural or common sense.
Right, and a part of basically a part of the hegemony. Okay, so yes, by taking on the image of the beast philosophy or the hegemony of the beast, right? The image, you're able to conduct business. A prime example of that is the Asian countries, right? They're fully invested in basically, how Esau conducts business. They're mirroring it, and are able to basically, in a relatively short period of time, take themselves out of a developed country to a developed country, a developing country to a developed country, because they had taken on that wine, Babylon the Great, and a part of that wine is the economy. But that doesn't mean that they had the mark of the beast.
That's stupid. Man, and they always try to spin that, and they're doing it on purpose because they know better. But they try to spin it for people who may be new. They try to blur the lines between the separation of the mark, the image, okay, and the beast itself, so that they can lie to you, so they can pass it. And really, at this point, It's like they have to be in somebody's pocket to be doing it. Because there's no reason to really be pushing it. Besides not wanting to say that we're right.
They're on the people. They're Templeton Cesariak is on a PR campaign. He's trying to make this truth of ours more palatable to the world, to the masses. So they sit up with the Crips and the Bloods, these other people, you know what I'm saying, just to make it seem, seem less crazy.
Which really goes back to money.
Right.
Because you want more hands so you get more money.
Right.
So he's in the pocket again.
Right. There you go. Right. Hey, I'm sorry. Revelation 18, that illustrates the fact that these countries are getting money with the beast. But that doesn't mean they had the mark of the beast, bro. Right? And then, you know what I'm saying? It says in Revelation the 14th chapter, you know what I'm saying? Those that receive the mark and the image, or worship the image, they're going to be destroyed. They make those two things, you know what I'm saying, differentiate, man. You know? Check here. But stuff with the whole check was good with. So it started sort of bad.
It's Revelation 18 and 9. It says, "And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication with her and lived deliciously with her." Live deliciously.
Right. Deliciously means basically, basically afford themselves, you know what I'm saying, financially speaking, man.
Benefited from business.
Right. I mean, shit, look at China, bro. China has made itself a world power in what, 40 years? You know? Right. Which really they learned engineering from America. America, at the beginning of its inception of doing business, America was basically, training China on engineering for cheap labor. So China was able to take that skill and basically, make themselves a forerunner, in AI now.
Yep.
So they're literally off of the ways of Babylon the Great, bro.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Verse 9 again from the top, Revelation 18 and 9. "And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning."
Yeah, so when they see this place going down, they're gonna be lamenting. Hey, because America and China, we just talking about China right now, still has a very personal, independent relationship with one another. China needs the American dollar to be okay before it found a push flood. It's not going to get some, we're going to do our own thing, get our own thing. That will kill China's economy. Because China is banking on this place to buy its goods and other Asian places to buy its goods. That's why Trump was able to hit them with these tariffs. You know what I'm saying? And they all came to the table with it, except for China. The Asian countries, they had to come to the table. You know what I'm saying? And basically refinance their contracts. Well, that's the power of the American dollar, right? They're able to dictate contracts. So these other nations are able to live deliciously off of buying and selling with the beast, or lying in bed with the beast, or drinking the wine of the beast, taking on the philosophy of the beast, economically speaking. And also, culturally speaking, man. That is them worshiping the image of the beast, bro. Okay?
Yeah.
Hey, did anybody look that up? Is calculating a part of the existence of Western culture? It's an AI overview. You know what I'm saying?
You read it. Well, I got it like the part of
Right. Because what Captain Tazariak is saying is, oh, these other nations are buying and selling. So they already got the market. We buying and selling because we got So that makes us have to walk. That's not what that means, bro.
But it goes to show the importance of looking up words again.
Right.
Because when you look up the words, you know that it's something physical that somebody's gonna have to merge with machine to have.
Right.
You understand? It's a digital all. Back in ancient times, people would brand their slaves and say owners for the state ownership over people. This devil's doing that digitally in our time. But if you don't look up the words, you can start playing with people like that. So a lot of the congregations in these other camps, they don't go into the meaning of words. So they can be lied to. See, over here, you're called to study this yourself. You can't be playing with it that way. This is the capitalism a part of Western hegemony, the AI overview. It says, yes, capitalism is deeply intertwined with the Western hegemony. As modern capitalism developed, and in the West, and its institutions, like private ownership, free markets, became globally dominant with periods of Western nations, the Dutch, the British, the US, leading this system and shaping global economic political structures.
So capitalism reshaped the world economy in terms of globalization and how all these various countries economy is interconnected. But that's because of capitalism. And that goes back to what? The identity of the West, which is what? The image of the beast. Starting from what? The Greeks, when it talks about Revelation 13 chapter, it says, I seen a leopard, then I seen a bear, which is Russia, then I seen a lion, which is Britain, right? You know, all these various nations that are Edomites, basically, you know what I'm saying, rule the earth. And they basically they dictate, you know, all aspects of your life. That's the image of the beast. All right? That's the image of the beast. Now, what separates that is there's going to be an actual physical part, a Paraqua, right? It's going to insert it in something that's tangible. Okay? Can we read more of that? Revelation 18? Yeah, it's trying to illustrate.
Revelation 18, 9 again from the top. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come.
Mhm.
And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore.
Woo! Right? They could be mourning because this place right here is not buying their merchandise. So this place is number one in what? In imports. We buy goods. Consumerism. What is consumerism? Basically, you're able to dictate contracts. You ever say, okay, cool, we'll get it to you at this price. Y'all gonna beat off for us. So when this place go down, they be like, oh my God, well, what's next?
How do we pivot out of this situation?
Yep. The US is basically too big to fail in the eyes of these other nations. For now.
Well, the time is ticking on it. That's why everybody's coming up with a plan B. Because they know at some point they're gonna have to break away from this whole. All right. And because they know America really isn't America. America is a subsidiary of Israel. The state of Israel. Least of the flocks will draw them out. America's being pivoted by the small ants. That's just what it is. All right. Ephesians 3 and 10. I'm going down. Because we've been given the eye salve to see through all the deception that's being weaved on the people. We've been given the eye salve to see through the enchantments that this devil has put out there. All right. The average day, it's impossible for them to see the lies that the devil is telling in full. They might be able to see a little bit here and there, but they can't see the big picture because you need the scriptures, the thorough understanding of the scriptures to see the big picture. See, got Ephesians 3 and like 10 on down.
All right, so Ephesians 3 and 10
like 12
says, to the intent that now unto the principalities and powers in heavenly places might be known by the church the manifold wisdom of God according to the eternal purpose, which he purposed in apostle.
Prophecy, the Lord's end goal, is included in that understanding. There's a lot of people who know they're Israelites, but they don't really get the fullness of the Lord's end goal. That's why when we bring up having a nation as slaves, some of them get a little weary on it. That's why when we talk about the destruction of Babylon, some of them get a little shaky on it. When you bring up particular topics, because they don't get the big picture of what the Lord is trying to do, they get fuzzy. When we bring up Jacob's trouble, they get fuzzy on it. They get because they don't get the fullness of what the Lord is doing. So things like that and topics like that, people that know they're Israelites uncomfortable. Why is that? It's because they don't have they haven't been given the proper understanding. They don't have the proper foundation. Just what it is. Go on, bro. Unless somebody has something to say.
Back in Ephesians chapter 3 and verse 11, it says, according to the eternal purpose, which he purposed in Hamashiach Yahushua our Lord, in whom we have boldness and access with confidence by the faith of him.
So our superpower is what? Having faith in our power, understanding that, yeah, these things are going to happen, but the Lord's going to deliver us from it. That's why our superpower derived from. This devil wants to separate you from having faith.
Right.
So that's why he's cool with guys like Tazariak and Genesis, them having these big platforms. They can just get up there and say anything and bring out all this stuff. They never get flagged. They'll never move their name or nothing like that. Because they're not pushing faith. It's harmless to them. What we're doing is not something that's harmless. So that's why you don't see Great Mill, even though all the brothers in Great Mill are required to make videos every day.
Nobody talk about it on that. Hold
On
on.
a big Isn't that strange?
Yeah.
No, people don't get it twisted. People are watching us just as much as those guys. The numbers don't show it.
Nah, people.
But they're watching us just the same, but it's not going to be pushed on Esau's internet the same way because this is dangerous to what he's trying to do. You understand? Somebody would ask that? Yeah, bro. Great Millstone, you got brothers all over the world, all these different camps, everybody putting up lessons. It exceeds 24 hours if you try to watch everybody's videos in a day. And that's nonstop. Every time zone, videos being uploaded. It's impossible. We're flooding the unicorn. So you don't find it strange that these guys, a couple of guys in their camp, and it's just like, oh, it's world friendly, like you had it. Okay, and it's harmless to Esau's agenda. Keep on going, bro. Yeah, go ahead.
Isaiah 62:6. I have set watchmen upon thy walls of Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day and night. Ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silent. Just a bad point about, Great Millstone, man. Seems like we're the only camp that's constantly flooding the internet, man. There are various platforms, man. Not only YouTube. We got Rumble, all these other platforms. You know what I'm saying? It's TikTok, all this, bro. So we constantly trying to get in there with lessons, like the brother said. At any point of time of the day, or later in the night, you can look on your YouTube page and you got hella notifications for brothers posting videos or going live, man. Hella edification going out there, man, that you don't see it from these other camps, man. A lot of the members, these large congregations that they have are nothing but bodies to them, man. Well, these niggas that stir with the prejudice that say that's right and pass out flyers, man. Right, but it's more than that, bro. The true ministry of the house, when you read the book of Acts, and Paul then was going to Peter and the apostles was doing the ministry, bro, they were going to church and setting up churches. And members was, they becoming leaders and the church was growing. And read about that in the book of Acts, man. They see what was really good. So Yahushua was spread back there during that time, man. See, it became a problem. So it became a problem to the Romans, man. See, it's happening all over again, bro. This gospel going there, Yahushua being preached again is becoming a problem to the elites, man.
Was that it on Ephesians 6? I think go through verse 12.
Yeah, those are 12. Want to keep going?
I wanted 12, but it's in the Geneva Bible, it says the worldly governments. It like split out, tell that the elites of this world is our real enemy.
I got Jeremiah 28:8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesy both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. The prophet which prophesied of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that Yahweh had truly sent him.
And since this elder has been in the truth for 2007, much of the prophecies that have been brought out have been what coming to pass, playing out before the eyes of everybody, to the point where it's undeniable at this point. So the Lord is letting the people know who his men are in this time. That's why he has all these groups come out with some wayward doctrine or some bullshit every week, just to keep highlighting to you, no, these are my men over here.
Right.
No godliness speech. Got
No, I'm just saying, like you said, you know, they got there to do a commentary on, you know, current, trends in hip hop culture and all this shit, but they're not really going into media things like what we see going on with Venezuela. Like things are heating up there, bro. And it's crazy how nobody's really talking about that. The Christians aren't talking about that.
it's not crazy, really, Saquon, because they're not prophets.
Well,
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It is crazy that then they say they believe they're supposed to be in the spirit of Yahweh Shah,
Right.
the spirit of prophecy. Why wouldn't they talk about these things? But we know it's really not crazy
Right,
because
Right.
it's not their job.
right,
That's not their part in the movie.
right. When you had to understand, it's like you don't see this, but people don't. People aren't seeing like, bro. It's going that way. But like the time of hardship is here, bro. It's here, and it's only gonna be worse. 2026 is gonna be a doozy, man. And these other kids are not getting their congregation ready for what's happening. I mean, people are seeing, the fact that these smart heads are cranking up, what I'm saying, anti shield show, I should say, laws and legislation, and really beeping down, what's going on, what's being said on the internet, and people are just like, I'm still gonna get my boot kissed. They're gonna, be outlandish. They're gonna, you know, say these outlandish things, that I really don't mean. You know, we gonna have to stand on what we're saying, bro.
We risk our lives every time we come out here.
Yep. You risk your pockets too. Yeah. Because our brother Arrow of the Indignation had brought out, I think U.S. Shelty. Like they gonna have certain AI bots watching us and report us, and you try to get you can be blacklisted from the economy, bro.
Debanked.
Right.
Debanked. That's why this digital ID, they can identify you digitally. So anything that you're tied to your bank account, your social media, when you went to the clinic, they got all the information in one place. It's not scattered the way it is now.
Right. Yep. If you can't feed yourself as a man and your family, bro, that shit is demoralizing, bro. That shit will take you to some dark places. You know what I'm saying? It will take you to some dark fucking places, bro. You know what I'm saying? Now imagine, we talk on a small level. Now imagine you blacklisted from goddamn East society.
Don't feel crazy. But if I might add,
If you a part of the elect, you're gonna be on point. But I'm not talking about the elect. I'm talking about niggas.
as an ordinary person, you're gonna feel less of a man
Right.
because the ordinary person associates their value with things,
Right.
possessions, and what they can do in this world.
I'm talking about a nigga though.
Nigga, yeah, he
I'm
is
talking about a nigga that got a shirt fringe on with a tee, with a fitted tee on. What you gonna do, bro?
loose.
For that shit, bro.
Yeah, they gonna bend the knee to the death. See,
What are you
yeah, that's what you know. So there's a kid. They still attach their value to the world. The elect gonna attach their value to their usefulness to the Lord. So even when they're put in those situations, they're not gonna think less of themselves or feel like a piece of shit because they're standing for righteousness. They gonna understand, well, damn, it's a part of the test. It's still gonna fuck with them, but they gonna see past it. 2/3 niggas ain't gonna be able to pass the situation and they gonna be tricky. So what they gonna do? They're gonna go into them and go into evil for help. They gonna lead upon this man. They gonna pay severely for it. You see? You still had the evil? Unless you had something for him.
I got it.
Okay.
But, 6
Yeah, we're gonna go.
Yeah, that's it, 64. Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 12 in the Geneva Bible, it says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the worldly governors, the princes of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness which are in high places."
Worldly governors. Threw me off a little bit. Yeah, go ahead. This dude was 400 pounds on this little scooter, and I was like, dude, big hell that scooter. He was, hey. All right, go ahead. Gotta be a tough. Go ahead.
Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 12 in the Geneva Bible says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the worldly governors, the princes of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness which are in the high places."
Yeah, so we understand who our true enemy is. Majority of the time we come out here and we're talking about what's wrong with this place, we're gonna go into the elites of this world. We're gonna go into how they're the root of all the problem. Yeah, we're gonna get on 2/3, we're gonna get on the women, but these other groups, they're like locked in on low level shit. Do you not notice?
Yeah.
They don't think big picture. They're not thinking about rulership. They're not thinking about immortality on the level that we talk about it. Why is that? Because they're not, that's a big no. Because they're not going to be a part of that governing body in the kingdom of heaven, man.
Nah.
They're not auditioning for that. These are the men that are auditioning for it. Alvarado Sazal, we pass. You see?
Yep. That's why speaking about Jacob's trouble is so important, man. Because we're gonna have to have, unwavering faith in that day. That day is coming very soon, I count. You know, that's why the scriptures say, in your patience possess ye your soul. What's that? Luke the 21st chapter. That you read up, it talks about how your family's gonna be coming. You're gonna be betrayed. You're gonna be seen as basically a demon. It's something, man.
Pray, not even wicked, even to those that are what they wicked to. But even to
The people that the people nearest to you.
yeah.
Suppose people gonna have a vehement hatred for you.
That 10, 34, yeah, turn. Wow, nigga.
Yeah, 10 and 30, 35.
35.
That time is coming, bro. So in your patience possess ye your soul, as it says in Luke the 21st chapter, around the 19th verse. You're gonna have to really stand on what you're saying out here, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to really stand on what you're saying, bro.
And that takes applying the wisdom the knowledge that we learned, applying it, which is good, right? They haven't been taking this grace period to apply the knowledge that the Lord has given us. How do we know that? Look at the things they put in the forefront of their ministry. They're not applying the knowledge. Duh. So again, there's all these arrows that the Lord points at these people and say, this ain't it. Don't do this. And who does he point by? Who does he point by? He point by his men of Lord. Y'all think we just getting on them just because. It's our job.
Think about it, bro. You got somebody that's calling the most high power, Yahweh. He exists on you. A real nigga.
Yo, he's out of there. Crazy. Would you have some you have somewhere with it? Or you get there? What you have? Go get the article. Okay, real quick, just want to highlight this.
Now, this is Philippians chapter 3 and verse 10. It says, "That I may know him and the power of his resurrection and the fellowship of his suffering, being made comfortable unto his death, if by any means I might attain unto the resurrection of the dead."
All right, so again, it's always on the mind of the elect man of the nation of Israel. Overcoming death. See, there's nothing that this devil could give us that we would trade back for. See, when you want to control a man, you either give him what he wants or you take it away. The elect man, what can this devil give him that he wants? We want the kingdom of heaven. He can't give that to us, nor can he take it away. So we can't be controlled or manipulated by him. I cannot say the same for the leaders of these other congregations or the people that's just out here just winging it. I can't say the same. See, I want to bring more precept to go with that. Y'all get y'all precepts. It's John 10 and 10. I'm here. I'm here. John 10 and 10. All right. Yeah. The thief cometh not but to kill. Salaki. The thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. I am come that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly. Immortality. The abundance of life. Again, that's the goal. That's what's on our minds. Dominion, rulership, those enjoying paradise, getting the earth back how it's supposed to be. These things. This isn't their conversation. They want to thrive here. These people love it here. So the Lord isn't speaking to them. See? That you had something. I'm really gonna have all
Real quick. Luke 21 and 34. And take heed to yourselves. Let's say anytime your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life. Because I believe surfeiting basically means partying, if I'm not mistaken. Luke 34, Luke 21 and 34 slide.
All right, so this is that word, serpent. It says, I'm going to say it. It says, the giddiness or the headache caused by drinking wine to access.
Right.
Said,
might I add, when you go to Habakkuk 2, it talks about this devil getting the whole world up on his mind. Not the literal yawn that you drink, but the philosophies of a man. Apply that to this. Okay, you got it.
Look up the Google real quick. Well, I'm looking up this stuff from the New Oxford American Dictionary. It says an excess amount of something.
Right. Yep. Carouse. In my study Bible says carousing. That means parlaying. You know what I'm saying? You know. And take heed to yourself, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that they come upon you unawares. For as a snare shall it come upon all them that dwell on the earth, on the face of the earth, of the whole earth.
I had this to back you up. When you look up surfeit on the animal line, it says unhealthy overindulgence. There it is, especially in food or in drink.
Yep. And this place promotes, basically being a fat ass. They have the whole term body shaming, make you not feel bad for being big, bloated.
That's why people like Lizzo get this in the society.
Yep. Well, as a
I go, brothers had to say, all right, but my bad.
Big with it.
Now, I'll just point it out because, like, that let you know that they're really not okay.
It was the same with the deep down. She knows she was like, bitch, I'm about to die.
Exactly.
Breathing hard and shit on stage, sitting hit that high note. Verse 35. For as a snare shall it come on all them that grow on the face of the whole earth. Watch ye therefore and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. All right, going to back what the brothers is going to. We gotta be aware of ourselves. What we're doing. And not get caught up in this world, so we're able to stand before Yahweh by Himself. Well, really, Yahweh Shah, it's like, when He comes back, and He's speaking right now. With the prophecy unfolding, it's only going to be worse out here. We had the other camps; they're not gearing their congregation up for the shed perils to come, man.
What's that scripture with gospel? It says, as for me and mine house,
to serve the Lord.
Yeah, I want to
Literally in Joshua.
It's in Joshua, like what 6? I'm gonna read this real quick. Deuteronomy 30 and 19, because like the elders going into, the choice of life and death, again, even in our time, is being laid before you. All right? This is Deuteronomy 30:19 in the NLT. Today I've given you the choice between life and death, between blessings and curses. Now I call on heaven and earth to witness the choice you make. We always make that in a statement. What you do now is going to be tied to your eternal reputation. All right? Okay. Oh, that you would choose life so that you and your descendants might live. Okay, so again, the choice of life and death in our time is being laid before us. All right, but whoever had that in Joshua 24, verse 14. Yeah. And he says, in the day your fathers in Egypt worship, you know what I mean? They say, after you mile. That's up to us.
Yeah.
Joshua 24, verse 14.
God, I'm sorry, verse 14. Okay. Joshua chapter 24 and verse 14 says, now therefore fear Yahweh, fear Yahweh Bashem Shah, and serve him in sincerity. And oh no, I'm the wrong one.
This Joshua 24, 14,
Oh, it's 14 and 15. Oh, okay, my bad. I'm looking at 15. It's like my bad. I'm looking at 15. All right, Joshua 24 and verse 14 says, now therefore fear Yahweh and serve him in sincerity and in truth, and put away the gods which your fathers served on the other side of the flood.
Yeah. All right. Put away all the bullshit that's tied to this world. These niggas are still trying to bring in black culture and mix it with the ministry.
Right.
That's liking it to an idol.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
They haven't put it away, so they're not serving the Lord in sincerity because they haven't become the preachers. You understand? Go ahead, bro. Keep going.
It said, what the first coming in already? It said like fear the Lord.
Yeah, it said
Part of that new song we read in Revelation 14, man. Telling our people the same thing, to fear the Lord, man. Don't fear the Most High, serve him. That's part of that new song we read in Revelation 14, man.
back in Joshua chapter 24, verse 14, it says, now therefore fear Yahweh and serve him in sincerity and in truth, and put away the gods which your fathers served on the other side of the flood and in Egypt, and serve ye Yahweh. And if it seem evil unto you to serve Yahweh, choose you this day whom you will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, or the gods of the Amorites in whose land ye dwell. But as far as me and my house,
Let me stop you there. A lot of the groups in our time, they try to act like it isn't going to come a time when you have to make a choice.
yeah,
They try to glaze over it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like it's just going to be, there's going to become a time when you truly have to separate from this world. Our people have always been confronted with their choice. And because they're so tied to their flesh, they always fail. 2/3 of our people in this time are still going to fail. You have to be asking yourself, how do I get to a place in the spirit to where I'm able to make that separation, where I'm able to not look back like Lot's wife?
And those that show that they don't fear the Lord, they're not taking heed to their song. That's the part that man for going back. That's the one with the song from Revelation 14 and like 7, man. It said, fear the Lord and give him the glory, man. See, not fearing Esau. You know what I'm saying? The one that can kill the body. See, a lot of these people, like the brother said, when this shit go down, and you know, they're gonna fear Esau, all right, more than they fear the Most High. They're gonna be willing to take that MOTB. They're gonna be willing to bow to the system, man. When these niggas, the whole ass niggas saying that we ain't gonna be no choice, well, the news and everything say otherwise, man. And it's time according to the prophecy, man. Right now, this system, everything they talk about this AI, all this news about putting something under the skin. Think what the fuck are you talking about, bro? Clearly, it's lining up to what the prophet is saying, man. See, according to the scripture, man.
Right. I mean, you see, if you could be paying attention, none of these cats really talk about AI like that, bro.
You're not, bro.
Nah. Like, if you really is studying AI like we have, like, you would know that, like, in the next few years, people are about to get displaced out of the economy. It's already happening. Like, to where people are going to need some type of assistance. And they're going to have the perfect remedy. That remedy is that MOTB, like, as we've been preaching about, bro.
They set you up for the haymaker. Yeah. They setting you up. They walking you down. Yep, come on. Wham! You finna get hit with it.
Yep.
We telling you. The elect man of the next in the corner, like, hey, watch out.
Yep. Yep. Hey, it's like a good boxer. Good boxer know how to set traps. You know, Esau been jabbing up and down, up and down. You know what I'm saying? Getting you, getting you worried about certain jabs. You know what I'm saying? To where he gonna come around with that straight. Wow, he gonna knock you out, bro.
They had to jumpstart the elder to give you the terminology for real. And, that's his lane. So he knew exactly what I was saying when I mentioned that. These people are being walked down a path to be set up for a trap.
Yep.
And you've been told, it's not like you haven't been told. Proverbs 1 tells you you've been told. But you said that not all the Lord's counsel.
Yep.
So you're gonna be a laughing stock. You're gonna be mocked by the Lord's name.
Go there, bro. To where, hey, well, what are we up here? We gonna do, but this is what we doing. This is why we out here. Hey, we have an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Versus the other thing, they're not gonna make it. Bro. A lot of people they don't know what they are part of, man. Like we're looking for it to have a covering from that day. The elect are going to have it. That's what we, like your brother said. That's what we are basically looking for, man. Because things are going to get very unfair in the near future, bro. Shit, in a lot of ways, it's already here. What's it going to do? Hell. You know? Now imagine somebody who ain't pushing his words sincerely. What's about to happen in the near future? Oh, he puts me in straights, brother.
No way out.
I'm talking about on a massive scale. People are about to be displaced.
They're gonna be pleading hands and knees to Esau to help them out because they haven't been pleading to the Lord. The Lord ain't gonna help them. He ain't gonna throw them a lifeline because they haven't been walking the Lord's path in sincerity. So they're gonna have to go down to Eden for help. But that help that Eden's gonna give you is poison. It's gonna leave you sorely destroyed. See, these people are attached to this society. They're attached to the gratification of the flesh. Okay, and that's gonna cause them to lose big time. It's gonna cause them to be put to death here. We have that in LP.
Yeah.
Still got that article.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
This is Romans chapter 6 and verse 16 in the NLT. It says, don't you realize that you become the slave of whatever you choose to obey? You can be a slave to sin, which leads to death, or you can choose to obey the Most High, which leads to righteous living.
Boom. That's straightforward. There's only one pathway to life. I'm gonna back you up, bro, real quick. Just a quick article, bro. It's Proverbs 11 and 19. All right, it says, as righteousness tendeth to life, so he that pursueth evil pursueth it to his own death. We're telling you people, being attached to this society, putting off the prophets, bullshit with the instructions the Lord has given us. You're walking down the path of your own death. When there's a pathway to immortality right here, but you don't want that path. Straight. This is a straight path, but it's worth it once you get through it. We got hope for the wild, like it talks about in 2nd and the 7th chapter. Got the article, bro.
All right, so this is this Airtown Headlines .org. Elon Musk warned that money will disappear in the future as AI makes worse in salary for rental. Let me jump down a little bit in the article. It says, according to this vision, machines will not merely sense humanity, they will replace it. Artificial intelligence and robotics are rapidly evolving to perform tasks faster, cheaper, and more effective than humans ever could. From factories to transportation networks to offices to creative industries, the march for automation is relentless. What was once science fiction is now unfolding in real time, threatening to erase the economic relevance of human effort altogether.
Right. So these low-level jobs, factory jobs, warehouse jobs, they about to be obsolete, bro. Even in the transportation industry, they're shaking that up for a reason. If you notice, they've been going after a lot of these people who can't speak English. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people who can't pass certain tests. They're getting rid of the cheap labor. Why are they getting rid of the cheap labor? Because they're obsolete now. They're gonna come in with these automated trucks. Right. Man.
Like I said, man, what was once science fiction is now unfolding in real time. You see, and it's like our robot.
Yeah.
They were driving, bro, with trucks. Just body no driver, just driving. All that, you know what I'm saying? Making delivery. Whole factories were just robots start making robots.
I had stopped by a while ago today, and the drones was picking up packages. They had a whole section for the drones, and they just find out delivering everything. That would have been people a couple years ago.
Right. No, it's still people still do. Some people still do like the Walmart, but then let you know eventually, nigga, that shit will be.
You don't gotta pay them drones.
You know what I'm saying? Right.
Hey, when we out here, you see this little bot drive around, food bot. That's gonna be on a higher level, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, that's gonna be on a high level to where people, like the article said, people gonna be relevant. That's what it
Yeah.
is. Yeah. Like, go ahead.
All right, going back to the article. All right, it reads, in such a world, the ancient bargain between labor and survival collapses. Work will no longer guarantee provision, and skills will no longer ensure security.
It said work would not guarantee provision. So even if you go to work, you're not gonna be able to take care of yourself. Provisions is what? You know what I'm saying? A roof over your head, food.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Be able to buy clothes. It's gonna be to a point to where you're not gonna be able to do these things, bro. You know? You're not gonna be able to do these things. They're gonna bring in a whole new way of life, bro. You know, and if you ain't paying attention, dog, you're gonna get caught up out there to where you're gonna move in a spirit of desperation and not a spirit of faith.
Yeah, and you gonna lose. You got more in that article?
Yeah, man, you gotta take out there, you know what I'm saying, talk about how cool, how clean they be at camp versus, you know what I'm saying, worrying about preaching and doctrine. They figure Jacob's Jacob's are perpetual children when I start to find out about Jacob. Jacob's a perpetual state of being a fucking adolescent, a teenager, man. Whatever these kids do, you can see a 45-year-old or 50-year-old man doing the same thing, saying the same thing, wearing the same thing, man.
You're right. Like you see the niggas on the podcast, like Jim Jones and all the niggas.
Yeah.
That's old niggas, but they still young minded.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you talking about, nigga? What? Anyway, continue on your article. bro.
Nigga
back.
45 talking about, oh, my mom.
Right.
Grow the fuck up, man.
Go ahead, bro.
It says, in such a world, the ancient bargain between labor and survival collapses. Work will no longer guarantee provision, and skill will no longer ensure security.
Right, so skill is not going to no longer ensure security. And look at the tech industry. It's being dismantled by what? AI. Well, the coders are obsolete. You don't need a coder now, man. You don't need these marketing agents. You don't need them anymore. Why get a marketing agent when I could just have AI create my a website for me and have them do commercials for me?
So I got Industry 4.0, what it's going to describe what the elders talked about. This brother got Industry 5.0. All right. It says Industry 4.0, or the fourth industrial revolution, is the digital transformation of manufacturing and industry, integrating smart technologies like AI into big data and robotics to create intelligence, interconnected with systems, enhance automation, efficiency, and data-driven decisions. So all the trafficking industry, automated. The food industry, automated. All right? All these things to where it replaces people and their jobs. All right? The grinding shall cease, like the elders going into. That's Industry 4.0, which is what we're stepping into. What they want to get, though, is this. Read that, bro. Industry 5.
God. It says industrial 5.0 is the next evolution of manufacturing, building on industry 4.0 tech. You say AI, robots.
Yeah, well, that's just right.
Yeah, it says, but shifting focus to human centricity. Yeah, see. Yeah,
Meaning the mixing of man and machine. So the automation is going to come, take away all your jobs to make you desperate. The mixing of man with machine is what he wants to get to take ownership over you and usurp the prophecies of the Most High.
Right.
So he's laying out Industry 4.0 to put everybody in that tight spot. Like we always get that word, distress. All right. So that's the distress. The Industry 4.0, the automation of all the jobs, make you desperate. And then Industry 5.0, hey, well, I got a solution. If you want to get that back to normal, if you want to be able to function and take care of your folks, want to feel like a man again, take this chip.
Right.
And you people gonna fall for it because you're carnal. And you're in the spirit of looking back like Lot's wife. This is the back up.
All right, going back to the article, it says money, long regarded as the lifeblood of civilization, loses meaning if humans come to generate economic value. Must foresees a future. It says money, long regarded as the lifeblood of civilization, could lose its meaning if humans no longer generate economic value.
So money is not gonna have any value if people don't add the value. A part of capital, if we say, Esau controls capital. Capital is goods, but it's also human and human resources too, right? When it says in Revelation 18 chapter that he controls the soul of man, well, that's true. He's gonna be able to, with the technology he's coming with and what he has now, he's gonna have to bow down to the image of the beast. And when they bow down to the image of the beast, they're gonna see that mark of the beast. You know? So, we're in a very advantageous situation to know this. For overcoming this flesh, there's gonna be a battle. It's gonna be a fucking battle, bro. The elect are gonna endure and overcome. But these people, man, this call themselves preachers, man, they're not paying attention.
They're still looking for a carnal solution. All right? When I'm gonna read this real quick in Ezekiel 7, because it talks about how money is going to be worthless to people. How that's not going to be a way to escape the day of the Lord and the judgment and the times and the conditions that are coming upon the earth. It's Ezekiel 7 and 19. I'm gonna start at 18. It says, they shall also gird themselves with sackcloth, and the horror shall cover them, and shame shall be upon all faces, and the baldness upon all their heads. Everybody's going to be brought to a lower state.
Right.
They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed.
Right.
In the NLT, it says they're going to toss it out like trash.
Sounds like hyperinflation. Like you had in Zimbabwe years ago. Had in Turkey. You know what I'm saying? Hyperinflation means basically the power of your currency, has no merit anymore. Something that say for instance, loaf of bread costs $300 because the power of that currency doesn't have any merit. Right? It doesn't have any power. This is what we're gonna see in the near future. Especially, as people don't go to work. The economy, right? Why would you need money if you have robots to do certain things for you? And don't get it twisted. Trump is a part of the controlled demolition. Oh, it wouldn't make any sense for him to put all these sanctions on all these various countries, man. Right? To eventually have to pay us back. No, man. It's hindering the country. To where now you have even, these EU countries putting sanctions on this place. If you're trying to so far make America great again, you're trying to basically strengthen its economic ties. But Trump is doing the exact opposite because it's controlled demolition, man. Okay? Not here to make it better. He's here to make it pacify you, to bring it to the point of accepting the MOTP. They need something, and right now they need those good old boys to feel like they have some sense of power. Okay, order out of chaos, man. Right? The system is being moved to basically a universal basic income.
And even at universal basic income, you think they're really gonna give you everything that you need? It might go good for a point in time, but it's gonna get to the point to where people still gonna be desperate and need something more. And it's all going again, it's gonna lead you to being a total utter slave underneath the thumb of this devil.
Always worry about what the
Understand?
fuck. Go ahead.
Going back to the article, it says money, long regarded for as the life, if it was on as the lifeblood of civilization, to lose its meaning if humans no longer generate economic value. Must foresees a future where abundance is produced entirely by machines, leaving society to grapple. Going back, it says money.
Jake gotta go, bro.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they missing food.
Nah.
Just missing
I'm
food.
saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a vast majority of niggas out here, bro.
Right,
You would think, oh, that's just one. Nah, nigga, Jake is through
right.
That's every camp.
on a very, very, very like substantial level. Now we're starting to see why 2/3 of our people they gotta go, bro.
Right.
They gotta go. But you got these people out here that call themselves prophets, pushing that same mind frame of being niggerish, man. A real nigga academy. Right? God was real nigga. You know, you shouldn't feel bad for you saying some shit like that. That's the vibration these guys are pushing in these camps. That's why people that know that in place, a lot of y'all gotta go. Bro. Don't get it twisted. The Lord about to do it. The Lord about to do it in a very methodical way. Lord will take your ass down, bro, in a very strategic manner. We about to see that. About to see that, bro. They think that God's playing with them, bro. Yeah, how about somebody else not playing, bro? They play too fucking much, man. You know? That shit get you mad, dog. Go ahead, dog. See why niggas get killed, man.
Yeah, they about to die.
All right, going back, it says money, long regarded as the lifeblood of civilization, could lose its meaning if humans no longer generate economic value. Musk foresees a future where abundance is produced entirely by machines, leaving society to grapple with a question humanity has never faced before. That question is, what happens when people are no longer needed to keep the world running?
Right. Well, what's going to happen when they don't need you, you know what I'm saying, for these side hustles anymore? They don't need you for food
Right.
and Uber Eats.
Mhm.
You be able to just yeah, I'm gonna do these little side gig. They be more side gigs, side hustles anymore because it's gonna be all automated. It's gonna be they gonna be utilizing robotics to do these things. You know, and when we talk about on low level, what about the white collar job? Even doctors, even diagnosing certain things.
Yeah,
We want to have certain
Yeah.
like systems where you go in and you get scanned. Oh, you had this, you get this.
Hey, they already got somebody that's kind of like Teladoc or something like
Yeah.
that. Where you put your symptoms in and they give you a fucking doctor.
Yeah.
And you get a doctor's note from it.
Yep, and everything. You get a doctor note,
Bro.
Like, bro, I got this. Okay,
Right.
go to the hospital.
Right. Damn, bro.
Cutting the costs
Right.
drastically, bro.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead, Doc.
God, it says Musk foresees a future where abundance is produced entirely by machines, leaving society to grapple with a question humanity has never faced before. What happens when people are no longer needed to keep the world running? Paul's answer is both alluring and unsettling. Human needs must suggest to be met automatically through centralized systems of distribution.
Right, centralized system of distribution. What does that sound like to you? That sound like an MOTP.
Right.
People don't understand the strength of even when you look up cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency, you really can control the whole society. right? They have certain there's certain blockchains for different things. You have Fetch AI. Fetch AI is basically a blockchain that has your medical information and things of that nature. Now, blockchain is basically where you can buy or sell, you know what I'm saying, using cryptocurrency. Like Ethereum is a blockchain, say for instance, right? And you're not what makes it so revolutionary is the fact that you don't need the Swiss system or the banking system in order to utilize that buy or sell. Now, picture if they had a certain device that has a blockchain that has your medical information, your banking information, you know what I'm saying? Your internet information, just go. They have all these things all in one, all on a personal blockchain, unique blockchain that's for you. Say for instance, even if you were to get somebody's somehow chip, it'd be irrelevant to you because it's not yours. Because it doesn't have your it's not your personal information. You can't use it. But with that blockchain chain technology, guess what? They're gonna have it to where they know exactly it's you and where you at, who you are, everything like that. And they able to utilize that to basically control that particular individual. Man. Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna read that again. It says the proposed answer is both alluring and unsettling. Human needs must suggest could be met automatically through centralized systems of distribution. Food, shelter, healthcare, and energy will be provided without the requirement of employment. This vision promises freedom from toil, yet it also raises hunting questions about control, dominance, and power.
Right. So they're saying you're not gonna have to go to work.
Right.
Right. But your food, your shelter, your healthcare, all this is gonna be controlled. It's gonna be centralized using what technology, right? Blockchain.
Right.
Right. What does that sound like? That sounds like this right here. No. You got that. We gotta get these scriptures. You know what I'm saying? Drive it in the point. People think what we're saying is so far fetched and crazy. They don't think Esau is far fetched and crazy, right? Like he won't take it there. Revelation 13 and 16. He causes all both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. You look this up in the concordance. It's Karagma, right? Which means basically to insert or to implant, right? Right. This is going to be happening. This is going to happen on a national, on a global scale, man. Right. Man is going to be infused with basically machine, and it's going to and the way in which they're going to do that with RFID technology. Okay, with that technology, he's going to be able to control all aspects of your life, making himself, you know what I'm saying, God like. Okay, you are seeing the power of technology and how he's able to control the masses, even when it comes to, listening to certain things that we say, we speak about, right? He's able to use that data, basically market it to you. You might be speaking about a thing on boxing or something like that. And guess what? He's able to say, hey, I got some blood for sale. I heard you talking about it. Right. Well, how's he able to listen to that? Does he have somebody that's on your phone 24/7? Like, oh damn, something.
Right.
No, he using AI.
Yeah.
That's the power of AI, bro.
Man.
Okay.
I'll read it again.
Yeah.
It says food, shelter, healthcare, and energy will be provided without the requirement of employment. The vision promises freedom from toil, yet it raises haunting questions about control, dominance, and power. It says when survival is no longer earned but allocated, who decides the terms? It says supporters hail this future as a technological Eden, bro. While we read this, how Esau is offering You see what the Lord set up from the beginning when he put Adam in the garden. You see, Adam didn't have to toil. You know what I'm saying? He was just existing. The earth brought forth for him. And you see what Esau trying to do on the left hand side? He's giving them a pseudo technological Eden, man. To where they ain't gonna have to work. You ain't gotta work. We'll provide everything for you. You see, and really that shit is gonna put your ass in a prison. All right, a prison like the earth has never seen before, man. You know? Right. It says, supporters hailed this future as a technological Eden, a world where humans are fully liberated from how you say this?
What's that? Drug, drug, Gary, drug, Gary. Let's look it up there. Yeah, let's take a look at that slide. All right, good.
Treasury. All right, it says hard manual, dull work, hard work. You see? So then you see how Esau is offering a salvation? He's offering their ass a pseudo salvation. Look, you ain't gotta work hard no more. Look what I can give you. I can give you eternal life, and you ain't gotta work for it. Do this, do that, but all this it's gonna be a fucking trap, man. But when you go into that word beast in Revelations 13, when it talks about that beast that rose up, you know, when you go into that word beast, it is what is it? Therion. And of course, it says a savage man or a savage beast-like man. But when you go into the root of it, it goes into basically a system that you know that's set for the destruction of man. You see, it says one of the definitions is a trap. You know, so this whole system, this beast is a trap, man, which is gonna catch the whole. It already got these people in a chokehold, man. See,
Some people already works the age of the beast, which is the way of Esau evil. Black culture is nothing but an extreme version of Western culture. All right, individualism, being impulsive, you only live once, right? When it comes from carpe diem, right? Being over sexualized. That's the box,
right?
You know what I'm saying? So our people, a lot of our people, they can be lining up for it. Yeah, I ain't gotta work. In turn, they're bound down to basically, you know what I'm saying, Esau Edom by taking that mark.
Making him their God.
Exactly.
Shit. Like, yeah, make a good point. Shit, they already ready for it now.
They ready.
Yeah, there's people that's like, you know, like Jake specifically, you know, talking about like, man, I can't wait. I can't wait till I get my. Well, they don't say MLTV, but like, I can't wait till I get my trip. Pretty much.
Yeah.
I like, man, I'm excited. I'm able to open my car. I'm like, nigga, it's not that cool. You know, it's not that cool.
I mean to cut you off.
That was it though.
Esau been predictive programming these people with these fucking movies, man. Thinking that he pushing the idea that they're fusing with technology. Oh, that's cool, but they see the powers that these niggas get. You know, they make them super like Upgrade. That movie Upgrade. Oh man, that's more. Oh man, yeah, niggas think that shit cool, bro. He's conditioning the minds of the people, and this is the part of that magic on the left hand side, man. See?
Yep. That's not gonna be your black ass.
Right.
But every aspect of your life, they're gonna capitalize on.
Right.
And any info that you have, they're gonna capitalize on. Any thought you have, it's gonna be integrated into your mind to make you spend your money that they're giving you on the things that they implanted in your mind. Okay? They're already doing it on a small level. Hey, sometimes you have a song that's just in your mind, you cannot get out. And you look on YouTube, that very song you thinking about.
Yeah.
On YouTube.
Right. Yeah. Real excited. Be the first thing. Like, damn. Right.
Don't you know?
Bro.
Right?
These are all part of these miracles that John seen. When you read Revelation 13, man, it talks about how that beast was able to perform those miracles. You know, it don't go until, you know, he was seeing everything that we seeing right now, man. See, showing people walking, you know, healing the paraplegic and all this shit. Like the elder said that. Basically, bro. All this shit, bro. John was seeing that, man. You see? Going back, it says to the article, it says supporters hailed this future as a technological Eden, where a world where humans are free. I mean, it's like a world where humans are fully liberated from drudgery and free to pursue creative meaning and self-expression.
Right. Right. Self-expression. That self-expression is going to be on where? On what platform? Right? It's gonna be on social media. That's how you can be able to express yourself. Right? Hey, Black Mirror has episodes like that. People basically work just to get on social media to live their real life. You live in mundane as hell, say do these small, say insignificant work just so you can get on social media and live out your actual life. People are gonna be true. A lot of people need to choose to plug in versus actually dealing with reality.
That's gonna be their option, bro. Right. Your vacations, all that. Cause you gotta remember, man, these 15-minute cities that shit in California, Hawaii, all this you know what I'm saying? They keep 5, 6 feet, niggas up in this shit. So you gonna make these cities into smart cities, man.
Right.
Or your ass is gonna be confined into a 15-minute city, so where you can only go 15 minutes away from your house. Everything you needed is gonna be in the vicinity of your area, man, or either delivered by fucking drone, man. See, just like these movies, like what is that with Arnold Schwarzenegger, man?
Terminator.
Total Recall. Yeah, when that nigga took that fake head, they implanted a memory. That nigga paid for them to implant a memory in his head, and they told him, well, you can get the regular, you can get the deluxe to where we put these experiences that you went and did this and you did that, and it's really real. See, that's gonna be niggas' vacation. Niggas don't take vacations in their living room, sitting on their goddamn sofa, man. Yeah, I'm just give 2 weeks, yeah, girl. Niggas got a fucking VR set on, nigga. 30 minutes. Kids want to buy seeing yeah, fucking VR headset on, man.
Yeah, stands a cup in your hand.
Right.
A rebound. It's crazy as hell.
Like,
Hey,
ribbon on.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's gonna be your fucking break.
damn.
See, it made me think about when you said the VR thing. That made me think about Demolition Man. Right, Demolition Man, when basically you didn't even have like sex anymore.
Right.
Nope. Right. It was like it's all in like some headset shit.
Right.
Like, all right, that's all. Yeah, that's cool.
And then you see all types of people are receiving all types of
Right.
STDs at a long rate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're already pushing, hey, you can throw your baby in a
Incubator.
incubator.
Right.
You don't need, what's the
Yeah.
point of having sex? They're pushing the whole androgynous, type of feel. To alleviate sex and sex and gender, the whole binary movement. They're doing that for a certain reason. With Moism, what you get out of that is what depopulation.
Yeah.
Something that we went into this. It's something that Esau Edom has always utilized to control the masses. Now, with this technology, he's going to really be able to control the masses.
He wants to have power over life and death.
Right.
What spirits are born in the earth, which
Right.
you can't do.
Yeah.
But that's a homosexuality is a tool to get to that point.
Right. Stop it. Yeah. So, hey, man, you got to pay attention to what's going on out here. Other camps are not getting their stuff together for a time like no other. Technology is going to be a huge integral part of this. What we see going on being a time like no other, man. Go ahead.
2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 9 in the NLT says, this man will come to do the work of Satan with counterfeit power and signs and miracles. He will use every kind of evil deception to fool those on their way to destruction because they refuse to love and accept the truth that will save them.
Right. A lot of people are going to be destroyed because when the time put into the pit, they chose the ways of this world. All right. So, hey, choose life. All praises to Yahweh,
The
the ones of the apostles, bishops, salutations, Dr.
Shalom.
They just went out and said that it got canceled out.